Welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher.
So let's jump right into it.
We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on, YouTube? It's Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, back again on a Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are just hanging out, but we have a lot to talk about this week. We had King Kong last weekend. We have what's new for the channel this week. We're going to talk about Raw or Slab because I had an interesting comment on my YouTube feed, and I wanted to address it. Marvel or DC, what are you collecting right now? What's the best thing to buy right now? And I also have a special announcement, some new stuff coming to the channel. Of course, convention season is underway, so we're going to get into that as well today. Like I said, a lot of stuff that I want to talk about today on the channel. So hopefully you stick with me for a little bit. But like we always start off, I want to tell you guys, if you're not a subscriber of the channel, you guys are missing out. We finally gave away that Thanos statue last week on the channel after 2 attempts to try to give that sucker away for 4,000. So we're at, I think, 4350 something right now. We got about 650 to go. So hopefully we get there quick. But you guys know I'm giving away this Iron Man 1 once we get there. Like I said, I know it's a beater, but at the end of the day, it's still an Iron Man 1. All right, guys. So we're going to give this away once we get to 5,000. Who knows? Maybe the lucky winner will get something else, but please claim your freaking prize. All right. We don't want to get stuck like we did last time, holding on to that thing for about 2 weeks. So either way, like I said, it's a Sunday, and we're going to start with what's new for the channel this week. Okay. Every week I've been putting out videos. Every week I do the Hot 10 breakdown. That is always drops on Thursdays of every week. Usually it's 7 in the morning. Sometimes I change it up, but usually it's 7 in the morning. But the channel members, they usually get access to that video on either Monday night late or Tuesday. So if you're a channel member, you always get my videos early. I try my best to do stuff ahead of time for you guys. Like I have an eBay video that was been on the channel for about 2 weeks that nobody's seen outside of members. So if you're a channel member, it starts at $199. There's a $499 option. The $499 option, guys, gets you. And I had somebody ask this question on a YouTube video. It was like, what am I buying right now? That I only give to channel members at the $499 level. I do a video about every month and a half or so, 2 months, and I tell you the books I'm looking to get. So one of my unboxings that I did last time we were on air, the Batman 121, channel members knew I was looking to buy that book for the past month and a half. So I finally pounced on it. They knew in case they wanted to go ahead and buy that themselves. So that's the benefit of being I call it the mighty level of channel membership. But either way, it's for you guys to decide. Regardless, we're going to start off today, like I said, showing you what's available this week coming to the channel. As you guys know, the Hot 10 breakdown comes every Thursday. But we also have a couple of other great videos this week. The first one being this one, comics getting crushed on eBay this week. I hope you guys are ready for this one because it is a great video. A lot of key books. I usually take 6 books and I go through them one by one. Going through the data, we look at GPA, we see what these books last sold for, and then we see if the people got great prices. I also do throw on a raw book at least a week to kind of give you a little bit of that, and that is part of the discussion today as well. We'll get into that in just a bit. But I also have one other special video for you guys this week. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you know that I said that this was my best video to date, and it comes out on Tuesday of this week. So channel members have access right now. They can go ahead and watch it, but I put a lot of hard work into this video. You guys know John Romita is my favorite artist of all time. You know, I'm a Spidey guy, but he also did a lot of stuff outside of Marvel, and you're going to find out about that in this video. What I do is I take a brief history of John Romita, and then of course we get into the top 10 covers, and it's my opinion. Now I will say right off the bat, I did miss one book, so it's in the description. I said I missed one book, so it should have been in there, but regardless, this video, in my opinion, is my best. Okay, so make sure you guys watch it because it's a lot of work. So the people who are in this chat right now, I am actually going to give you a sneak peek at this video. Okay, just a sneak peek. But I figured it was worth showing you guys for whoever showed up today. So here you go. Sneak peek of this video. And it's just the beginning portion of the video. And I'm gonna skip the whole intro that I always do and just show you exactly what it is. So you ready? We'll watch it together. So there you go. That is the intro to John Romita's top 10 covers of all time. So again, this is a great video in my opinion. Hope you guys watch it. Like I said before, a lot went into this video. So again, you're going to hear me say during the video, if you want to see other videos like this, drop me comments down below because actually I thought it was actually a really great one. So let me get caught up in the chat and see if he's even here. We only got about 10 people in there. Danny, what's going on, buddy? And that's the only one who's actually left a comment for me. So I don't know who else is in here, but regardless, that's cool. Well, actually, we got Treasury Edition in here as well. Thank you so much, Treasury Edition. I really appreciate that. It was really, really awesome. So much fun to make. I knew a lot of the information already, but going into that video, learning all the stuff that went on with his career, it was absolutely phenomenal for me to go ahead and do that one. I look forward to doing the next one. So Candaris, how you doing, buddy? Larry Legend, I'm here, but once again at work, I'll try to participate as much as possible. Hey, don't worry about it, man. I totally understand. Ray, how you doing, buddy? Glad to see you 2 weeks in a row. So again, I'm always here for questions, but we do have a lot of stuff I want to talk about today. So we're going to start with the topic at hand. And we went through what's new, new eBay video coming Monday, a Ramita video dropping Tuesday, and Thursday is the hot 10 breakdown of the week, like always. We're going to jump into a comment that I got. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I posted it because I got a lot of interesting comments when I posted it as well. But I had a subscriber reach out to me and said he's been going to a lot of cons and the dealers are telling him that it's harder for them to sell slabs right now. And I wasn't caught off by surprise, but hearing that from a dealer, I was a little shocked. I have been saying this for the better part of a year. You guys know I've been trying to buy a lot of Robux over the past year. I'm not really buying much graded stuff at the moment. And there's several reasons why. And I want to talk about it. I want to get your guys' opinion on it as well, is that this is what I thought was going to happen. There was a time where everybody was sending everything in to get slab, from modern to bronze, silver, you name it, copper, 90s books, everything in their mother was getting slabbed. So what's more available right now? Slabs or raw books? I mean, when I say raw books, I'm not talking about the dollar bin books. I'm not talking about the $5 books or even the $20 books. I'm talking about keys, right? We're talking about key first appearances. That's or classic covers. I consider keys as well, but and some second appearances too, and thirds. But regardless, what's more readily available? Right now, I'm going to say slabs. Slabs are more readily available, people, and they're also more expensive for the most part. You're paying a premium to get a slabbed book in your collection because the person, whoever, sent out that slab to get graded, have to pay for shipping. They have to pay for it to get slabbed, all that other stuff that goes along when you go ahead and submit your books to CGC or CBCS or whoever you send them to. So right now, the diamond in the rough are the raw books, especially the bigger the raw book, the bigger the key, the harder it is to find that raw book, in my opinion. So when hearing this comment from a subscriber, I was like, you know what? I've been saying this for the better part of a year. It's harder to find those Robux right now, and the dealers are starting to confirming it. Now, somebody did give a nice comment to them saying, you know what? When you're at a con, a lot of these books are still overpriced. So again, we'll get into that topic later, but he's also right. I've been to a lot of shows. over the past couple of years, and it started last year where I've gone to these shows and everything is still marked from the 2021 high. Now, I get that some of these dealers are underwater to a certain extent and they're trying to get their money back, but those books are going to sit. Not only are they graded and more expensive because of the grading, but the prices are out of line regardless because so many things have dropped. And it brings us to another conversation of what's best to buy now, and that's another topic we're going to discuss in a little bit. But I want to get your guys' opinion. What are you guys looking to buy right now? Are you looking to buy slabs? Are you looking for raw keys? I know buying a slab can be peace of mind for a lot of collectors out there. 100% agree with that. Like you don't have to worry about the grade, you don't have to worry about restoration, you don't have to worry about something's missing, even though CGC, CBCS, they make mistakes at times. But for the most part, you're in a situation where you're buying a book and you're happy with your purchase. Now, again, if you're buying a slab and you're getting a deal on that and it's under GPA, in my opinion, then I don't think you can complain, right? You did a good job. But if you have to pay over GPA or over last sale or over 90-day average for a slab, you're not selling them, not in this market, right? It's a buyer's market right now. And I think everything comes into play. So do me a favor, drop me comments. What are you seeing out there in the community right now? What are you buying in the community right now? You buying raw? You buying slab? Are you seeing overpriced stuff? Are you seeing slab sitting? Are you seeing raws sitting? Drop me comments right now and let's talk about it. So I'm going to say hello to Mike Green because he said hello. How you doing, Mike? Down economy plus oversaturation equals suppressed prices. The free COVID cash created a monster that the hobby couldn't keep satiated. You're 100% right. And right now, I will say, is the worst time to sell books. And a lot of dealers are kind of feeling that, in my opinion. I had an LCS go out recently by me. But, you know, I just, there's still books to be had. There are still collectors out there willing to pay money for books. I see 100 something people on live sales on Instagram all the time. So, and we're going to talk about the major cons as we get there today, because I want to get into that about pricing, because I'm hearing a lot of different stuff from a lot of different people, but excuse me. Keep going with this. Dwayne, how you doing, Dwayne? Well, if you want to make a profit on most new buys, better to go raw than grade and sell it. Main thing is risk of buying online raw books. I buy 100% online, so when I spend big, I buy slab. And I think a lot of the collectors right now feel exactly how you do. If you're going to buy a big book, you're better off getting it slabbed. And I agree with that, because if you're going to spend a lot of money, you need peace of mind, because you're talking about a 50% haircut when something's missing, when there's restoration. So on big books, that's a lot of money lost. So I 100% agree with you. Sometimes it's worth it for a person like me who buys a lot of raw stuff and is comfortable doing certain things. Like I bought a Tales of Suspense 39. I had it graded eventually, but I bought that raw knowing that I was pretty good. I was in good shape, and it did come back a higher grade than I thought. So he puts it in a perfect situation, because the better buys right now are raw, because if you want to grade it, you could sell it and it costs you less money because the raws are going for cheaper. And that's my assumption as well. J. Thomas Cruz, depends on who we're talking about. We have those that are investors. They tend to go for the slabs. They just want the final product without the hassle. So I agree. I'll touch on this. We had a lot of people leave our hobby recently over the past year and a half because the prices went the way they were, and they've crashed over that time period over the past year or so. Like, I'm going to say something from my analysis. You guys see me do GPA videos all the time, but when I see a Silver Age Marvel comic key that goes down 30 something percent, I think that's par for the course right now. When I see a Silver Age Marvel key that's down almost 60%, that makes me raise my eyebrows. Like, what the hell is going on? So the 30% I could see getting into right now. The 50 to 60%, I might want to wait a little bit more just to see what's going on with those books. But yes, great point. Candorus says he's been buying raws only because I am picky about what I want slabbed. I only want slabs of characters books I love. I have a theme I am working on for my display. So this brings in the collector part of it, and everybody collects differently, right? I have slabs, I have raws, but there are books that I'm like him. Like, I want my Amazing Spider-Man run to be raw. It's just preference, and I think that's 100%. As collectors, we have a preference for our collection, so that plays into it as well. So far we've got, collecting preferences. We have investors that probably want those books, and it has no meaning to them whatsoever. So most of them are going to be slabbed. And we have the profit makers, the people who are buying raw to slab to make a profit. J. Thomas Cruz, what's up, pal? Us hobbyists like the hunt for raw books, the pressing, the cleaning, and submitting to the grading companies. I agree. That's part of the fun of being a collector, right? You want to hunt for the raws. If you want to have them slab, you can do it yourself. So that's part of the enjoyment for the collectors out there. So again, that's collecting part of this, and I agree with you there. My buddy Danny says, raw books are definitely harder to find these days. However, so many untrustworthy dealers restoring books. Unless you can trust the seller, buying raw books are the way to go. I agree. You have to, again, you have to be comfortable from who you're buying from. It's like I know eBay is a bit of a sore subject for a lot of people, but there's a lot of scammers on there. But you can always get your money back from eBay. They do offer a buyer guarantee, which is nice. So my main gripe on eBay for buying is that everything's overpriced. Everything's overpriced right now. You have to catch a deal at the right time, and it takes work and it takes time, which a lot of people don't have. Other places, we have Shortbox, which is only slabs. You have IG live sales, which to me, I still find the best way to buy books right now, the cheapest way and the best way, because I trust all three guys with Grails, Elite Comics 11, and you have Diamond Comic Club as well. So I think they stand by what they're doing, and I've never had a problem. And you can always choose what you want to buy. If it's something's too high, then just stay away. Dr. Sean, buddy, what's going on, man? It would be rough to spend a few $1,000s to buy a raw key online, only to find out that it was restored. For that reason, I'm still buying slab. So here we have a slab buyer, and again, it's all about trust. It's all about comfort level, right? Um, Everybody's different. It was just a a comment that I really wanted to see, because I've been doing that as well. I've been hunting for raws. You guys know that. So when I had a fellow collector reach out and say the dealers are saying that they can't get rid of slabs right now, I also wonder what we're talking about. If you're talking about a 9.8 modern, you know, variant cover, like I get it why they're not selling, because a lot of them, unless you get them in a 9.8, I don't think a lot of people are buying them, in my opinion, unless they're cheap. Depends on the book. Rohan, what's up, buddy? I buy either with what I find the best deal on. If I'm buying raw, it's got to be someone I can trust, but otherwise I just look for the best deal value. And I agree. That's how you have to be. If you can get a great deal on a slab, why not do it? It makes sense to do it. Unless you find something about the book or the slab itself that you don't like. If you're buying a slab under GPA value for that slab, I think you did a pretty good job. If it's a book you want, I'm not going to complain. Ray says, every major key I get is raw, gives me an advantage to negotiate flaws that I know I can press out or clean. Although hard to find some keys in mid to high grade raw. And I agree with you. Um, and that goes into collecting, like whoever wants it. Ray's like me, he wants a deal on a book if he's going to get it. And I think in a buyer's market, that's how it has to be right now. You got to buy looking for deals. Don't pay full price for anything. Even I'm selling books, I would tell you not to buy at full price, make offers. That's the best way to do it, especially if you can get a good deal on a book. But yeah, buying raw, like I said, if you know how to grade and you can spot flaws, it gives you a major advantage right now being a buyer's market. Ron says, time to buy if you got the money and then hold. 100% agree. Right now is the time to buy. I see so many books coming to market. We just saw the Heritage auction they had 3 Batman ones in that auction. I think it really hurt that 8.0 selling Superman book, because it was the higher grade. It was the better book. It was a pedigree book. It had its own custom label. The first time it's had its own label, whether you like the label or not, it's one of a kind with that label, with that book. We know where it came from. It's a pedigree. For that book to go where it was, it should have got a lot higher, in my opinion. But because there are 3 Batman ones in the same auction, that's what you get. I feel bad for the seller, but he's got so many books, he'll be doing just fine. Jason, thanks for joining, anybody. Jim Richards, how you doing? Actually prefer raws, but hard to purchase online. So mainly collect slab and omnibus for the stories. Omnibus, 100%. You could buy those anywhere you feel comfortable. Slabs is a comfort level for most people if it's just for the collection and you're not, actively looking to make money, I think. Yes, IG is the best source buying books, cheaper than going to overpriced conventions. So that's going to be our next topic. Let me just finish off the comments quick. Unfortunately, eBay takes a larger cut of the sale than the mafia, so sellers have to jack up prices. Goes back to what I learned years ago. The secret to successful business is in the buying. Candaros, you are 1,000% right. I've sold a lot of books off of eBay the last year, and thank God I didn't get killed in taxes. We had a little bit of a loophole, but a lot of stuff. So yes, they take it's almost 20% now what they're taking, which is absolutely ridiculous. So I've gone over to selling, exclusively on through, my website or IG or through those three main IG sellers. Right now, that's my best bet. I'm also going to be setting up at the Garden State Comic Fest in Morristown, I think June 24th and 25th. So if you're in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, make sure you come see me because I'm going to film. I'm going to say hello to everybody. We're going to hang out. It's going to be freaking blast. But last comment before we get into the convention stuff. I think even having the Tech 27 in the auction hurt it all. Why split the high-end Batman collector group? I agree with you. Probably did. I mean, that book was going to go into the next stratosphere, but it was $1.6 million, I think it sold for off the top of my head, but I'm not too sure. But either way, you're right. The more bigger books you have in the auction and when they're related to one another, somebody's going to get hurt. And that's the book that got hurt the most. The 7.0 got hurt a little bit as well, but all right. So we're going to talk a little about the convention. Convention season has kicked off. And again, another comment I got from a few people, not just one, is that MegaCon, C2E2 was there. The dealers there are crazy overpriced. I will say this. I know they have to spend a shitload of money to spend to not only transport their stuff there, get there, pay for the convention to be there for the 3 days that they're there. They spend a lot of money and a lot of time doing this. So they need to recoup that. I get it. I 100% get it. So I understand where they're coming from. I myself, like I said, I'm setting up for a small con. My first time I'm doing so. Outside of paying for the con itself, I'm trying to keep my books where they should be at GPA. I'm not a dealer though. I'm a collector, so it's more about meeting people and just kind of moving what I can move at this point. But I have been hearing people say who went to MegaCon, who went to C2E2, that the books there right now are crazy, that they're way over GPA. And I know GPA is not the only asset that we have for getting prices right now, but if you're over eBay prices, then I think there's a serious issue. And I think the excuse for that being, well, you can buy the book right now instead of waiting through eBay is ridiculous. So again, I want to hear you guys, what your thoughts. Has anybody gone to C2E2 MegaCon? I know Rohan, you were at that Seattle con the last week or the week before. I forget the name of it, but what did you see there? Danny, you said as well that you were at MegaCon this weekend. So I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Anyone else has gone to a local show or other con, please let me know what your experience has been. Like I said, the con season has just been kicking off. I went to King Con last weekend and it was a blast. I had a fun time, but I bought no books. I asked a few guys out there, what prices were, but I didn't want to go ahead and spend that kind of money on the books right now. So again, I want to hear from you guys and what you think. Danny says, I'm working on ASM 1 to 20 slabs. Actually getting into omnibus as well. Fun reading and great way to bring my kids into reading so they don't tear my comics. I think 100% right. I have an 11-year-old, but he doesn't read the comics, but he collects, keys as well. Like he's got some great, amazing Spider-Man keys, albeit affordable. He's got an ASM 194 in low grade. He's got a 20 in low grade, or ASM 41 in low grade. A couple other books that, are affordable for him to start his collecting journey. So Rohan says, I get they have some overhead to cover, but for example, ASM 129 raw for 3K is just ludicrous. It depends on the grade. You guys know I unboxed my ASM 129 that I thought was a 6.0, but it looks like an 8.0. But because there's some damage like on the corner and the back, went for a 6.0, which I knew, but it depends on the grade. You have to see what it looks like, the book. But yeah, if it looks like a 6.0, then they're 7.0, then no. I think a 9.0 is 3,000 right now. So unless that book is a 9.0 or higher, there's no way an ASM 129 should go for 3K. No way. Because 9.0s are $3,000 right now. It used to be where the 8.0s are $3,000 roughly. Now the 9.0s are $3,000. I'm actually thinking about swapping mine for a 9.0 because you guys know that's one of my favorite covers. Kenneth, what's up, bud? Good to see you. Hi to everyone here today. Ending soonest, Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle. That was it. So ending soonest, did you go to that as well? I know Rohan said he went and he gave me his experience. He was telling me ahead of time, but I wanted him to tell everybody here. So he says the ASM 129 was mid-grade. So no, if it's a mid-grade, but even like a 6.0, I want to say it's like $1,700 right now. That's it. Depending on how it presents as well. Like mine may get a little bit higher because it presents like an 8.0, but it all depends. There's so many copies out there. So it doesn't mean you should own it. I love the book. Everybody should own that book, but can't be getting $3,000 for that. 100% with you. Anybody else? Any other experiences? I got my 6.5 slab for 1,500. So yeah, I think it's gone up a little bit since then, since they confirmed that Burnt Owl is going, going back to the country. I think it's gone up a little bit, but also, what's the page quality on that as well? The white pager is going to command the most money because they are out there. I've seen them. Off white to white is next, and then so on and so forth. So the page quality plays into it as well as does presentation. Danny said I was looking at ASM2 3.5. His website was asking 3,400. They're willing to sell at the show for 3,000. Big dealer, and most of everything he had just sits on the wall for show off. I'm gonna say at a 3.5. So I have a 2.5 that I have for sale. That's I have priced at 2,300. Now I may end up dropping that or taking an offer, but I want to say that's probably about right for a 3.5 is 3,000, not 3,400, but probably 3,000. So maybe you make an offer of 2,700 and see if he takes it. People got to make offers, but maybe he doesn't need the money. I have no idea. Some of the con prices, no matter where you go, are ridiculous. Yeah, and from my experience, the bigger the show, the more ridiculous the price. That's just from my experience. I'm not knocking anybody out there. The bigger the show, the more expensive the books are. I went to New York Comic Con last year, and every book was literally 35% over where it should have been. Everything, and I know some of the dealers there, but um, I don't know what It is what it is. Is that what we're still seeing? But I don't know how some of these guys are moving books. Dwayne says, guess the sellers are having trouble coming down to reality because they don't want to lose profit margins they had during the boom. And somebody, I think it was Dr. Sean, and I could be wrong in this, just said that it depends what we're buying, what your buy price is. I think obviously during 2021, if you're not a 20-year holder, you're going to get stuck at the high price. And some of these books, like this week on the eBay list, man, you're going to see some books that are down more than one, about 3 books that are down almost 60% from the highs. And you're going to see, what I say in that video on Monday, tomorrow, but it's crazy. I wouldn't go anywhere near those books. So we said a 3.5 for 2,600. I'm most likely getting. Well, that's a freaking steal. 100% third appearance of Spider-Man. What people forget about that book, ASM2 is third appearance of Spidey. But yeah, anybody else with been to a convention over the past couple of weeks? Like I said, King Kong wasn't bad. I thought some of the prices were fair, some of them weren't, but I wanted to see everybody. I wanted to say hello. I wanted to talk to people I haven't talked to yet. It was really great. But I think a lot of lower end books are selling a lot. The higher the books right now, they're still up there and they haven't dropped. So yeah, I mean he agrees with Dwayne. It's tough. I mean, like I said, I'm not killing sellers right now. I understand where they are. If they can't come down in their prices, they have to stay where they are. That's why I still say, like, Instagram. If you're on Instagram, like there were a lot of deals to be had. I was watching Grails the other night, and Dustin Lineback is the guy who got my Batman 121. His prices, they've come down so much from the 2 times past that he was doing a show. They've come down a lot. I mean, I got it like a $400 off that book just for that day. So I don't know if he's looking to buy another collection or if he's just needs the cash. But like I said, a lot of dealers right now are liquidating online, not at shows, because that's the opposite of what I'm hearing. But the IG sales, there's some deals to be had. There you go. More raws than graded have been moving. I've been saying it for about a year because eventually there's not going to be any big keys that are left raw. Like what? Do you guys let me know? Do you guys see like? And I use Silver Age Spider-Man as an example because when I go to anywhere, any comic place, I look for Silver Age Spider-Man in the raw form, 1 to 100. That's what I look for. And there's not a lot of keys that go from 51 to 100. There's a lot of filler in there. Great stories, but not a lot of keys. So 1 through 50, I always look for and see if I could find them raw because they're so hard to find raw. And I think people want them raw. They're so in demand that that's what I'm really gearing towards. Raw IG is the hands down the best place to buy comics. A lot of the dealers there as well, I think they're also collectors, so that helps. The guys who are mainstay dealers, like you see them at every show, they're hard. They rarely come down, in my opinion. Yeah, Justin Lineback is the guy's name. Go check him out. He's got some great raw stuff and slabs. Ton of stuff. Been buying all my big guys on IG, the sellers you mentioned. Yeah, like I said, those are the best deals. I have a bunch of books that I posted on my IG that I moved some on my own. Whatever I didn't, I gave a few to a couple other of these big guys, and that was it. And some of them have sold, some of them are still sitting, but I do payment plans, stuff like that through them, through myself. So it is what it is. But I also sell books under GPA. That's the next thing, right? If I list something at GPA for a graded book, if I usually take an offer under. So you're getting a book, in all likelihood that's come down a bunch under GPA. I don't think you can complain at that point. Dr. Sean says, I went to Toronto Comic Con a few weeks ago and the gold and silver age books were overpriced. I did find some modern books at cheap prices. I bought a 9.8 Batman 655 for 150. Okay, great. So I'm glad you brought this up because this book was on the hot 10 for about a month. And I said once that book drops to 200 or under, I would pounce on it because that to me is got a good future. It's one of the few modern keys that I actually like. So Sean, you did an awesome job, man. For 150 at a 9.8 all day long, that book. Only in a 9.8. I said anything 200 or under, I'd be a buyer. You did it. Great job. Yes, well said. The IG shows are collectors are selling to collectors, then get it so they work with prices. Yeah, I know they have to pay fee to to the guys doing it, but listen, it's buying stuff from the comfort of your own home. I enjoy cons. I love going to cons, especially to see all the stuff that I've never seen before. That's part of the journey of this whole thing. But buying sometime is very tough. It took that long? Wow. Man, I sent that out Monday, dude. That was Saturday, and that was priority mail. What the hell? I sent another book out with somebody else. It got to him in 2 days. Oh, here's a guy. This is one of my favorite YouTuber guys, DJ Links. If you guys don't watch his channel, I told him he was at King Kong and told him he's got the best editing on YouTube by far. And not only that, he's got an amazing collection as well. Just an awesome watch. And that's few and far between these days for me. I don't throw around, guys that I always watch, but DJ Links is one of them. Go watch his channel because he unboxes a lot of stuff. He does mystery boxes. Just a great guy in the community. Hopefully I'll meet him again soon. Jim, what's going on? So Jim is one of the buyers of a couple of books that I had recently for sale. I think he was happy. So Jim, give me a plug if you do enjoy the books that I gave you. But he said he dabbed on Whatnot recently. Got an FF number 3, 4.5 for 2,000. Now, off the top of my head, I'm going to say it's a good deal because it's a 4.5 for 2,000. Oh man, USPS. Thanks again for Ditto One. Awesome book. Thanks, Jim. I really appreciate it. He got 2 of the most awesome signature series books that I've ever owned in my life. So congrats. Keep them in the collection because those are 2 books that I think will continue to go up. Especially one of them because the artist has passed away. But anytime, buddy. Appreciate you and great seeing you at the show. All right, so let's segue into one of my other topics that we're going to talk about. Marvel or DC right now. Now, they're going in 2 directions, right? DC is going up because of the James Gunn stuff with the movies going up, coming out. And we have Marvel, which has really been taking a shit. As you see in my eBay videos, there's a lot of stuff I just talked about down 30%. And I think that's par for the course because they were the stuff that went up during the past 3 to 5 years, all the Marvel stuff. So I think anything that's come down about 30%, that's a bigger key, is a good time to pounce. If it's around that price right now and it's been at that price for the past 90 days to 6 months, I think that's probably a good baseline. But like I said, when you watch this video tomorrow and you see these books dropping 60%, that's a big deal to me. No book should drop 60%. None. Unless it's like a modern spec book that people were hyping up for no reason. Then I understand why that book dropped. But I'm talking silver and bronze, bigger keys. So I want to talk about that. So is it a better deal right now to buy DC on the way up or a better deal now to buy Marvel at the bottom? I'm interested into hearing what you guys have to say because I'm going to give you my opinion right now. So drop me comments down so we can talk about it a little bit. But I think right now, the better buy is still Marvel. And some people will disagree with me on this because Marvel has taken such a beating. But if you can go back to 2020, I think most of the books that you should be buying, they're still higher than 2020 prices. If they're still higher than 2020 prices by, I would say, by 30% where they were in 2020, you're still able to buy them. So I think it may take a while a while. When I say a while, I'm saying 5 to 10 to 15 to 20 years. I'm not nothing under 5 years right now is worth buying in my opinion. Nothing. Unless you're specking on something for something and then you're going to sell it right after. Nothing. So it's a minimum 5-year hold, minimum. So I want to hear from you guys. Are you looking to buy DC? Are you looking to buy Marvel? What's the better buy? For me, I'm going to say it's Silver Age. Marvel is still king when it comes to this stuff. And if it seemed like it's bottomed over the past 6 months, now might be a great time if you're a holder. DC for me, where the great value is still is Golden Age. Golden Age. And when I say Golden Age, I'm talking about the keys. I'll talk about the classic covers. I'll talk about the bigger keys. We all know the Batman ones, the Superman ones, the text 27s, the actual ones. Forget those for a second because those 4 books are in their own class. But the DC keys, they're smaller characters which haven't been developed on screen or in a show yet. Now, I'm not saying that they can't be developed and go mainstream, but they haven't been before. I still think to this day, DC, Batman and Superman, Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, for the most part, are their bread and butter. And that's what they're going to stick to. And you'll see smaller characters being brought in. But look at Marvel. They're trying to bring these smaller characters in, and it's causing them problems. All of the movies are not as good. Nobody cares as much. I just don't see DC going where they think it's going to go with these books. There's a couple of gems, DC right now, which I do like, Batman 181, Batman 121, the Silver Age Batman villains. Some of them, and you'll see in this video as well on Monday, there's one of them in there. They're pretty steady. They're not flying up like they did in Marvel, but some of them are good long-term holds. Some of them are not. But the keys for DC are still in the golden age, in my opinion. But tell me what you think. There is room for DC hype to continue to grow. We still haven't seen a gun film by DC. So that's endings prerogatives by DC. And like, I don't think anybody's wrong in this instance. So that we're not here to debate who's right or wrong. It's just what I want to hear from you guys is, so you guys are ending soonest is buying DC. So I ask anyone who answers this question is, what DC books are you buying? So ending soonest, drop me comments. What are you looking for to buy DC? You're looking to buy like All-Star 58, First Power Girl, because that's been on the list. Batman 655. I said at a certain price, I'd buy that book under 200 at a 9.8. What other DC books? The Batman 121, 181. I still think those are the best 2 books to buy in DC Silver Age. Yes, jump on Marvel keys. As investor collector, if you have the means, you make your money in bear market, not bull market. So I agree with you. That's my whole point, is that they've been crushed to a point where if you're a holder, you're going to make money down the line. If you're looking to get out in 5 to 10 years, maybe now is not the time. Marvel needs an Avengers movie at end of phase 4, like phase 1. That was a miss, in my opinion. I get what you're saying, but I think they needed to end what they had. They had a 10-year run with all those characters. And that's what I always say is, like, after you use the major characters, where do you go from there? You still have an appearance by Doctor Strange, the Hulk, some major characters pushed in there. But all the big guns, they're gone. They're gone. They're setting up new characters that people aren't familiar with as much as, us, we are for the most part. But I'm not flocking to the theater to see, a Shang-Chi. I saw the first one. I thought it was good. But, am I excited for Shang-Chi too? I'll go see it. But is the layperson going to go see it? Is the layperson going to be disappointed when it's not an Avengers level movie? And that's what it's become, unfortunately. I think Marvel is great time for keys. The investors and flippers are wanting to get rid of them to jump on DC key train. Batman, Gold, and Silver would be my choice. I agree. I think Superman, if they can get there, if the first movie is really good, and it all, in my opinion, it's going to be whoever they cast. It has to be right. It has to be Superman. I think if he gets that movie right and gets the casting right, we could see some Superman keys go up. But I don't think it's going to be any of the. I just still think it's going to be the Golden Age stuff. It's not going to be anything else. Batman has some more, villains in that Silver Age where I like the 2 I mentioned. Brave and the Bold 25, 28, Showcase 4, Showcase 22, Green Lantern 1, Hawk 1, Hawkman 1, and 4. So yes, I agree with you. Brave and the Bold 25 and 28, 28 especially. A lot of people are talking about the book. Still a very scarce book right now. For a Silver Age DC key, Brave and the Bold 28 is really scarce. Same with Showcase 4 in any grade. I think that's one of the scarcest one of them all. Showcase 22 I love. I think has gone up recently, so that's gotten a bump, which is nice. It's hard to buy on the way up, so if you're buying on the way up right now and the movies don't do well, they could come crashing back down. That's part of the reason. Green Lantern 1 as well. Even though I don't like the cover to Green Lantern 1, I never did. Showcase 22, 100%, much better cover. I'm a giant DC fan, but I'm not buying from Gun Hype. I just snagged the Tech 400 and Action Comics 950 New 52 newsstand. Very good. Not just characters, but the actors matter too. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like, if you get somebody like Chris Pratt playing Superman, it's finished. Sorry, it's finished. Nope. That's why they should have just stuck with Cavill and just started over. As much as I didn't like the first movie was okay. I don't like Zack Snyder, so I don't like his films. But I thought Henry Cavill played a good Superman, 100%. If they just kept him and just started over, I would have been fine. But they have to cast the right person. And that's a big shoes to fill, Superman. It's not like he's got a mask. Superman has a face, and it's got to look like Superman. Yeah, what James Gunn's strength, in my opinion, is the smaller characters, like the John Cena character. It's slipping my mind right now. How good was that show? He does the Guardians of the Galaxy. How good was that show? How good are those characters? That nobody knew these characters, and he brings them such a he just brings them to life. I'll leave it like that's his strength. 100% that's James Gunn's strength. So a character that's well established like Superman, can he take the ball and run with it? We're going to find out. And I'm a little scared, but if he does it, then yeah, these things are on the right track. So all right. So we talked about Slab. We talked about Marvel or DC. What's new this week? We talked about what's best to buy right now, and people are as a mix of both Marvel and DC. So that's great. We talked about convention season. So we're going to talk about something that I have for you guys and for me. Peacemaker. That was the name of it. Thank you. And that show was great. John Cena was made for that role. And I'm sad that we have to wait to see the second season of that, but such a good show. And that's what James Gunn, like I said, really succeeds with stuff like that. Yeah, he really does a great job. But let's transition a little bit. And I'm taking your questions like I always do, guys. We've been on for about 42 minutes. Probably go for another half hour and that's it. But I wanted to get to one other thing. Yeah, I mean, I liked her as Wonder Woman. Linda Carter was my Wonder Woman growing up, and she was phenomenal. I think every boy's first crush when you're that age. But maybe Gal Gadot is the new boy's first crush. She's gorgeous. So I mean, he should have kept the same actors, just totally started from the beginning, and everything would be fine. Because I do think a lot of the roles were cast very well. Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill being two of them. Ben Affleck, I had high hopes, but no good. If they could bring Christian Bale back, I would totally take that. All right, let's segue. Let's segue for a minute, okay? I want to talk about something that I have set up at the channel. And it's been a long time coming, but I wanted to share with you guys. I had somebody reach out to me, a company reach out to me called Fourth Wall, and asked if I was interested in selling merchandise through them. So I had no idea who the hell they were, but after doing some research, they actually allow me to set up some cool merchandise for everybody at the channel. I know I still have my t-shirts and hats for sale on my site. That'll always be there until they're gone. But I've been working with them to set up some cool new merchandise, and I'm able to design everything myself, and it costs me no money. It's basically costs just whoever wants to purchase something, you get it right from them. I just designed something, and you guys can buy it straight off my YouTube. There's a link in the description of every video, but there's also, you should see pictures underneath every video that I do of merchandise that's available. So I thought this thing was extremely freaking cool. You guys know I always have like special logos or something that I use on the channel. So I wanted to show you guys all the new stuff that's here for you guys to take a look at. So we're going to do that for a minute. So first off, let me say to you guys, I am really appreciative for anybody out there who supports the channel, buys something from me, participates in giveaways, members of the channel, and now I'm offering this for you guys because I think this shit's cool. So maybe that's me because I'm a big nerd sometimes, but let me make this a little bigger. So this is what you're going to see when you hit that link or when you click on a item itself. So a lot of cool logos that I always use on the channel. We'll take a look at the newest one first. And of course, that is I love the book. I hate the price. You guys know I always say this shit, but it just happens to be one of my favorite things. I love this. Everybody says to me, "Why do you hate on books? You hate on books." I said, "I don't hate on books. I hate the prices that some of these books are you're asking because they're not worth it." So love the book, hate the price. All right. So I thought this was a cool little logo. Love the book, hate the price. And of course, they're also available in different sizes. They're only $24 per t-shirt. And they also come in any color you freaking want. Okay. Any color you want, not just black. So just pick the color you want. The style is the same and so on and so forth. So you just pick the different color. Like we get to a Mighty Comics and Collectible shirt. This you see, it's a white one, but you can pick any color shirt that you want. But again, $24 for a t-shirt. Um, Somebody asked me in one of the chats if I had hoodies. Guess what? We got hoodies now in different sizes and styles. So here's just a straight Mighty Comics and Collectibles hoodie. Comes in gray, comes in whatever freaking hoodie color you want. I personally like the gray. I thought it looked really cool. What else we got? We got love the book, hate the price, and the sweatshirt too. So again, these sweatshirts are really popular. I picked like the best of the best clothing that they had. So this sweatshirt and the t-shirt seems to be the two premium ones that they had. So I picked that for cheap. And again, they look great. Here you guys have one of my favorite sayings. Friends don't let friends overpay for second appearances. You know how we do that at the channel. And everything comes, nice and nice, as I say. So I was super excited about this. They actually called me. They actually emailed me and say, "Hey, are you interested in doing this?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "If it costs me nothing and the prices are good for the people who watch my channel and they're interested in supporting the channel, I have no problem just doing this." So I wanted to set up some stuff for you. Again, a cheap mug for freaking $13. Who doesn't want a coffee mug with my face on it, for Christ's sake? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But at an option. Again, we get the red shirt as well. I thought was cool. But you guys pick any. Here's a good shot. You guys could pick any color you want. From my eye, I thought the red, the white, the black and the gray are probably the ones that I thought most people would wear. So, hey, show me the money book. If we're going to buy a comic, you guys know it's got to be the book that's worth the most. You're going to buy a Green Lantern book and you can spend $1,000 on a high grade copy of whatever number one. And it's $1,500 for the first appearance. Buy the first appearance. That's the money book. That's it. So I wanted us to offer you to you guys. I only get a small percentage of stuff that comes back to me for this, but I thought it was really cool to have a lot of great stuff on here. If you guys are interested, like I said, the product should appear under each one of my videos. If interested, it supports the channel. So that's it. Just wanted to share that with you guys quick. How do I get back to the thing? There we go. Steven says, that's how I feel about Detective Comics 27. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean, Steven. What do you mean about Detective Comics? That's how you feel about Detective Comics 27. Regardless, like I said, we got about 20, 25 minutes left. Let's talk about, I'll take any question you guys have right now about comics you're looking for, stuff like that, GPA prices, stuff like that we do every video. I'm here to answer your questions for the next 20, 25 minutes if interested, or if not, we'll end the stream. But Danny, always a supporter, buddy. I appreciate that. All right. So yeah, any questions for right now? I had somebody ask me the other day what I'm looking to buy, and I think I told you this already, but that's I give to the members of my channel what stuff I'm actually looking for. And then of course you'll find out like weeks or months later that I actually pick up something like that. But I always try to leave that stuff for them because they pay for that information. For me, not much I'm looking to buy right now. Silver Age Spider-Man. You guys always know I'm looking to buy that. Raw if I could find it. And when I go to my next show that I'm going to is going to be that Garden State Comic Fest. There's a Clifton show right now going on that goes on every month in my area. I'm sure a lot of people are there right now, but it might be over at this point or close to it. But I even stopped going to that show for a bit. I go every once in a while because just to go, but a lot of the same dealers go there. And my favorite dealer is Zap, and I can always just go to their store. I was there on Saturday. Dot Sean says, "What do you guys think about the first cover appearances? Like, I bought an Action 27 Lois Lane from Heritage because I don't think I will ever get her first appearance." Yeah, I mean, if it's something like that, I agree with you. You're not like that's the reason why I bought that Superman 6 because I'm never getting a Superman 1, right? And I ended up selling that Superman 6 to somebody on Saturday actually, because I'm gonna move on to a different Superman book, but um, that's the reason you buy those things because the stuff that's out of reach, I totally get. All Star Comics 8, even in on point 5, I think it's $30,000. So I'm fine with it. I think you buy what you like. First of all, everybody says it, but if you like Lois Lane, and it's the first cover appearance, and you can't afford the first appearance of her, then yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the All Star 8 cover, man. If she was on the cover, like I would much own a Wonder Woman #1. Like I love it, or Sensation Comics. That Sensation Comics cover is awesome. So that's the one I would definitely do too. But if you like the Action 27 or first cover, that's fine. I think they're 100% a good buy, especially when the Golden Age books. 100%. Um, right now, and it's a bad time to do this, but I am parsing down my collection a little bit because I've spent a lot of money with the Batman 1 and whatnot. So I'm just trying to replenish my reserves to see if I want to go out and buy something else, something that I'd rather have. So you'll see some of my books for sale out there. To me, it's opportunity. It's an opportunity for people out there who may want that book who haven't had it before, and now's the time for them because they have dropped 30%. So, like I said before, it's a buyer's market. It's a buyer's market. No other questions, guys, today? Man, I know it's nice out, but uh, I know Danny's looking for ASMs and an A15. Well, as soon as I say that, then I see this comment. Sell me your A15. No, I'm like I said, I'm gonna be buried with that book. If you guys didn't watch my top 5 comics in my collection, I was tagged by Alex the Comic Quarter and Rohan to show them. That was my #1 book, man. That will never go anywhere. Like that's it. So all right, man. If we don't get any questions in the next 8 minutes, I'm gonna hang it up for the day. I mean, it's nice here, so I'll just go hang out. I'm actually pricing. I've been pricing books at the moment for the show over in Morristown that I'm going to. So if you're in the area, dude, my shit is priced well under market value for the smaller keys, not the big stuff. But Ben, you must not watch my channel because I say for this book that you got to buy an N98. And I had somebody not scream at me, but come at me on through the comments saying, well, why are you only buying a 98? Why are you only buying a 98? You're driving down the prices of everything else. I've said, first of all, I don't have 5,000 subscribers to my YouTube. I'm not driving down anything. I'm not Gem Mint. I don't have 150,000 subscribers. So people who say that are nuts. I can't push anything. I just try to help. If you just want to own the book, then go ahead. It doesn't matter what grade you buy it in. I think it's a good book. I think it's a very popular character, and there's a lot of people who like her. For me, I would only buy it in a 9.8. I've had like a 9.0 copy in my possession at one point, and I sold it, made a little bit of profit on it. It's gone up a lot though. It's gone up a lot, and it's still popular in other grades besides 9.8. But I think for the best bang for your buck, unless you're a huge Harley Quinn fan, that's the only grade I want to own for me. But if you just like the character, buy it in whatever grade you want. Would you pursue super low grade UG Batman 1 or mid grade restored? What do you mean by UG? Ungraded Batman 1? Is that what you're saying? Get back to me, Jim. Is that what you mean? UG Batman 1 or mid grade restored? Well, I have a mid grade restored, but I don't know if there's an ungraded one, but let me know what you mean. One of your shirts should have been "Who's buying this crap?" You're right. Next time I'm gonna start off the hot 10 this week with that. So I usually video it on Monday. So if it's another shitty list, I will start it up. Who is buying this crap? There we go. What do you think Tech 31 versus Tech 168? I'm more of a 168 fan. So let me tell you right now, they're both super rare books and it's preference. But for me, I love 31. I love that book. There's a guy on eBay that's had a sale for like, he's got it up there for like 3 years and it hasn't sold. And I message him like at least every couple of months to see, if he's willing to come down in price or if he's willing to sell it off of eBay. But he said he has a shop in Colorado is where the book is. And he said, if you ever get to Colorado, it'll come out. And I may just take a trip there. I know my wife has a friend over there that lives over there. And I don't like flying, but just to go see that book and possibly buy it. I'm a 31 fan. I don't ever see that book available for sale. There's one copy on eBay. There's a restored copy coming, a comic link that I'm going to watch. We'll see if I can get that one if for cheap. If not, then no. But for me, it's 31 because just I don't ever see them being for sale. I've seen a couple of 168 for sale. Universal grade. All right, yeah, I should have known that one. Sorry, Jim. So would you pursue super low grade UG Batman 1 or mid grade restored? So I have an answer for this question, but I don't want to tell you what it is yet. Okay. It's a mystery for you guys. I think you have to be able to go with whatever you can truly afford. Personally, if money wasn't an option, I'd want a universal Batman 1. No questions asked. Even if it was a 0.5, I'd want a universal grade, blue label. 100%. That's 100%. I would take that all day long. Money wasn't an option. Money's an option for 99% of us. So you buy what you can afford. So I was able to get a mid-grade restored book. I was happy with it. I don't like the way the purple label looks on that book, though. Any yellow covered label, I don't like the purple labels on that. That doesn't do the book justice. So, that's why I bought a CBCS copy because the restored copy for CBCS is a blue label, and I think it presents way better, and that's why I bought it. And that's part of the reason why you buy books, like the presentation. So, okay. So great question, Jim. Great question. Any more, guys? Is anybody looking to buy Golden Age stuff right now in the chat? It's the only thing that outside of Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man, like I'm looking at Golden Age books right now, and some of them are worth it, and some of them are still like I see people buying who will name nameless, but they buy a lot of Golden Age stuff that I don't know how they spend high dollar stuff on some of the stuff that nobody knows about because I feel like the market is limited to sell that stuff. But to each his own. I don't know everything for Christ's sake. They may know more than I do about this stuff. Definitely about Golden Age stuff. They know more than me. So Golden Age Batman and Superman is mostly what I'm buying. And I'm trying to dip my toes in as well after the Batman 1. I got a Superman number 6. Superman number 6, by the way, is still rather affordable. I just sold my copy for a really great price to somebody. It was low grade. I knew it was a 0.5 to regardless, but it was missing the centerfold. But other than that, like I sold it for under $1,000. So when are you going to see a Golden Age book? And that's also the first time there was a splash page in any comic book. So that's like a double key because it's a classic cover as well. So that's a great comic. I love that one. I like 11 and I like 9 as well. There's a 40 Black 40 in the 40s is a great book too. Errol loves that book. I like the yellow covers. But Batman, the keys, the Golden Age keys, they're really freaking expensive. Like the Riddler, Penguin, Two-Face, the classic covers, like early tech classic cover Batmans, they're okay. They were a lot cheaper about 2 years ago. Now they're going up. So Golden Age is going up right now, even though the bigger keys, some of them are dropping because I think the timing for sale is the wrong time. I'm always buying Golden Age, but it seems like you have to pay up for them. Right now you do, because they're going up. But I said, like, in my opinion, and that's what this is my opinion, is that a lot of the Golden Age shit that's selling right now, I think people are going to have a hard time selling at some point. Right? I love pre-code horror. I love it to death. The covers are absolutely amazing. It's hot right now, but down the road, when it cools off, I think they're going to have a hard time selling. Some of the romance stuff they see people buying, some of the other Golden Age stuff that I see people buying, the demand might be there for certain books, but the volume that I'm seeing bought right now is not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm gonna take all that money and go buy a bigger golden age key, or even a mid-sized golden age key. That will always sell better, but maybe that's what they like and that's what they want to do, and that's 100% fine. So I'm not gonna say that that's wrong. I just, I like art, so I'm not gonna tell you that you shouldn't buy art because that's what it is. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I could just tell you what I'm doing, and my golden age keys. I'm being very picky in what I buy. No, I'm not spending $50,000 on every book I buy. That's crazy. But if I can get a golden age book that's a minor key or a great Batman cover for like $1,000, I think that's worth it. Even in low grade, I saw at the King Kong show there was a great Action One cover. It was low grade. I mean, the cover was detached, but it presented nice for $400. Like, to me, that's a steal. Like, if you want to dip your toe in an Action Comics classic cover Superman, $400 for a low grade copy, you cannot get a better deal than that because it's not an investment book. It's $400. You could slab it, keep it raw, look at it because that's a part of history. And that's what this is about. It's about history. So that's just me. That's the way I collect. I just think it's smart. I just don't, there are a lot of collectors that just go out and buy dollar books and $5 books. And I think that's 100% fine because you want to read this stuff. I think it's great. But if you're not a reader, like I'll read every once in a while. And when I read something, it's usually I reread something. So it's something I've read before. So any other common questions about what this or that, or what are we looking to buy, or what you're buying, is something a good deal? Any other thing before I let you guys go? Because it's 1:30, so I've been on about an hour. But I'll stay on if you guys have questions. If not, I'll bail. But again, I wanted to say thank you guys for supporting the channel. Again, check out the new merch. I think this shit is awesome. And like I said, everything helps support the channel because all that stuff goes back to giveaways and stuff like that. So I'm not making bank off of YouTube, that's for sure. If we get to 100,000 subs, then we can talk about something else. But then maybe that's the case. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Lately, I've been wanting to come in here and just kind of chat for an hour about comics, about stuff I'm seeing in the community. And today there was a lot of great stuff that I really wanted to talk about, between the Raw or Slab, between Marvel or DC. What are we buying right now? What's a better buy? The convention stuff too, because that's, it's just getting started for the year. So I'm excited to see what else. What does anybody know what the next convention is anywhere in the US? I don't know what's next. C2E2 and MegaCon. I know Terrificon is in Connecticut, I think. I'm going to try to go to that this year because I think it's only about 2 hours for me. That's a bigger show. So we'll see. But other than that, we'll see. I know I got the show in June. So, all right, guys, I'm going to end the stream today. So thank you for everybody out there for hanging with me for the past hour. Like I said, a lot of great stuff coming this week from the channel, between the eBay prices, between the Vermita stuff, and then of course the Hot 10 breakdown of the week. New merch available for everybody out there, and that's it. Happy collecting to everybody out there. Oh, wait. San Diego Comic-Con, yeah. That's the biggest one of the year. That's when we get like a lot of announcements and stuff. So hopefully that's a good one. I can't go to that obviously, but thoughts on creator signature process. So what I think you mean is sending the shit down to CGC to get signed. So this is a great story. I think Big E over at New York Warriors, he sent his amazing Spider-Man #1, the classic Todd McFarlane cover, into CGC, and they didn't. I don't think they signed it. They sent it back with the label and everything, but I don't think it signed it. So the process itself, I've never done it, so I can't really comment. But I guess certain things happen sometimes like that. I don't think I would ever send something in to be signed by him. I would just rather buy it or meet him in person. I know he's at New York Comic Con and we saw him there. That would be my suggestion. But if you're comfortable doing that stuff, then all, great, more power to you. I have no comment because I haven't done it before, unfortunately. I mean, the prices to get the stuff signed, I mean, they could charge whatever they want. They're the creator. Some of them are outrageous. But you guys know for signatures, like I've want like maybe like 5 signatures that I've ever wanted: Ramita, Stan Lee, which the 2 I have. Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, which I'll never get, and I'm missing somebody, and Todd McFarlane, which I have, but I didn't get him to sign it. I just purchased the book with this thing signed. I would love to meet Todd, um, and John Romita, but I don't. Those are the only two I think that are alive out of that list. So everyone else, well, there's some great creators out there, writers, artists. I those 5 people that I just mentioned, I would be like a fucking schoolgirl meeting them, because those 5 artists, creators, are people that have shaped my collecting life. So that's a different story. Do you ever have any buyer's remorse for buying your Batman one? So this is an outstanding question. Okay. So do I have buyer's remorse? The simple answer is no. Do I wish I got it for cheaper? Yes. So let me answer it like that. I'm one of roughly 300 people who own a Batman one, so I don't think I could have buyer's remorse. But would I have liked to have gotten it for a better deal? Yeah. 100%. Do I plan on selling it anytime soon? No, so I don't care. But if I could do it again, I would try to get it for a better deal. But again, I want you to keep something in mind. And I said this before. For me as a collector, how a book looks is important to me. You could see all the stuff I have in my room, like that I look at constantly. Like I know you don't see my AF-15 and my Hulk one. It's right there. And I have like a glass case right now where I sit so I could see it. I have all my important Amazing Spider-Man raw books up there, and you could see my slabs behind me. So when I look at a book, when I hold a book in my hand, when I have a book in my collection, how it looks and how it presents means something to me. So not having that purple label was important. I mean, if I can get I said before, if I can get a blue universal grade, I would have done it. When I tell you that I was on Heritage, and Heritage has an option where if someone has purchased a book on Heritage, or they can list a book on Heritage just for sale, you can make them an offer. Okay. It's not just an auction house. I must have messaged at least 15 people who had a Batman one in a universal label. I messaged people who had a 0.5 blue label missing the back cover, and I made offers. And every one of them got denied. Every single one. And I went up to more than what I paid now for this book. So I was willing to spend more for a blue label. And it's not a trade. I trade half my books for that. So that made it easier for me. But that was an all cash deal. And they all said no. So that tells you how many people don't want to give that book up, especially in lower grades. Okay. Because we see all the sales at a high grade. We see them all. We had a 1.8 sell. And I believe at that Heritage auction, the person who sold it just purchased that book. So they actually flipped it. They bought it and then they resold it and made a little bit of cash. So I get it why they did that, and that's fine. But even that book was a 1.8, and I don't think I can't afford a 1.8 of that book because it sold for 144 plus the premium or whatever it was, or maybe that was with the premium. That's way over my budget. Okay, so I don't think it was in the cards for me to do that, but that would be what would have been my preference. But sometimes you just have to settle if you want something. Like I said, because it wasn't a purple label, I was satisfied. So I hope that answers your question. No buyer's remorse, but I wish I paid less for it. All right, guys, that's it for today. I want to thank you for hanging with me for a little bit, talking on the channel. I really appreciate it. Like I said, all this great stuff is coming this week. Make sure you check it out on my YouTube channel, Mighty Comics and Collectibles. Check out my website, mightycollects.com, and check out all the new merch for sale under every video that I purchase. It does support the channel, and I thank you guys. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.